I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. I said, yeah, and see, that's what the problem was. I said, hold on. So I knew something was wrong. I knew something special about it.
What is my problem?
In this rumpisode, with Bitcoin only hours away from getting a weekly candle close, our very first significant weekly pullback since we broke out of this symmetrical triangle on this long-term Bitcoin weekly chart since the beginning of July 2020. We have a lot to delve into with this chart and where we're looking for a close. And specifically, guys, if we actually go down to the other target we've been mentioning, we're going to show you what exactly that would mean for this chart, for the Fibonacci levels, and for the rest of mankind. Mamma mia, and Bitcoin as well in the 1 hour and 4 hour charts are shaping up some very interesting divergences. We're going to show you what we think that means as well. Gubius Maximus and Ethereum is at a very critical level. We're going to be delving into that and what that entails for the rest of the altcoin market as well, guys. As I'm sure you know, alts across the board have been getting obliterated. Okay, when Bitcoin dumps, altcoins dump, and when Bitcoin pumps, altcoins do tend to follow soon afterwards. And as well as the stock to toe model actually facing some trouble, or in fact, is this a perfectly normal trajectory? Let's dive on in. Wow, welcome back, goobers, gumdrops, and scallywags. Guys, we have a lot to delve into with Bitcoin's charts today. We have a lot to delve into with Bitcoin's price action. Okay, Bitcoin is at a very key level on this weekly chart, and we need to be paying attention to that without a doubt, bar none, hands down. And as well, we're going to be talking about what exactly we want to see on this weekly close. But in fact, there's something very interesting that we didn't include in the intro as well in regards to this monthly chart, which you're definitely going to want to stick around for that, guys. And altcoins across the board have been taking a beating. Guys, we haven't seen a beating this hard since my high school experience. So we have so much to delve into today. And as well, we'll be picking a winner for this ledger. We actually have 2 of these ledgers left. So as well, make sure to leave your comments to enter. And in your comment, provide your opinion of what you think Bitcoin's price will be at the end of the year 2020, and as well what you think the top performing alt in your portfolio will be by the end of 2020 as well. So guys, huge, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications so you get updated when we upload new videos just like this one. And without any further ado, let's jump into the squirtisode. Guys, huge, so we have a weekly candle close coming up in just a few hours, about 7 hours my time of the time I'm recording this. And no doubt the question on everyone's mind is what is coming for this next week of Bitcoin's price, guys? Are we gonna go down lower? Are we going to hit some of these key levels? Or in fact, are we heading up? So let's actually just take a look at the simple Fibonacci retracement here on the weekly chart. You can see currently we're actually testing the golden pocket of this weekly chart for support, guys. Actually, the very top of it being about 10.25 or 10,250, and the very bottom being about 9,600. Also, exactly where this 21-week moving average is. Okay. Now, out of all the pullbacks, I don't think 96 would be the absolute lowest, but I think 96 would be the absolute perfect pullback area. Okay, for a lot of those reasons, right? We'd be holding this Fibonacci golden pocket zone. We would be hitting this 21-week, which is just such an important weekly moving average. We would also fill that pesky gap, which again, whether you believe in it or not, it would just be better if it was filled instead of having that not fill. Okay, objectively, that would be the best thing. And so 96 would be the perfect area. Now, again, a retest of the top of this symmetrical triangle, I have all the way down, like I've been saying, around 8,500 US dollars, 8,500, down around that level, which is also right where the 50-week moving average is as well for Bitcoin's price. Now, before we get into the shorter term timeframes, on the monthly chart for Bitcoin, if we actually draw the Fibonacci from where the candles, the bodies closed, okay, back at the all-time high, right around 14,000, to where we got the lowest body closes on this monthly chart as well, what you see is we're actually right now also facing right the 786 of the monthly Fibonacci retracement, with the golden pocket on this monthly actually being down here around that 86 as well, which is also where this 21-month moving average is. Actually a little slightly below that, around like 84, but basically kind of that same area right there. So the 2 biggest levels that I'm eyeing up for pullback targets are basically where we're at right now, the $9,600 level, and at the very lowest, right about 8,500, okay? I don't necessarily think we're going to be going to that $7,000 level, which I read a few articles this morning and I saw some tweets, okay? A lot of people actually are starting to call for 7. But again, I think the very lowest that we're going to see before reversing, because remember, this is still extremely bullish. So this pattern that we're in with this pullback, everything, okay, this is all still extremely bullish, extremely normal. We were talking about a pullback back to this for confirmation for the past month, right? So this is not anything new. It's just new because it's actually happening now. Wowee. But anyway, yeah, I think 86, 85 is probably like the lowest I think would be healthy and good for this pullback. If we went below 86, down to 7, I think that would be, we would start having to talk about getting bearish, right? And I just don't see that very likely. What that would look like on this chart, let's say we went all the way down to like 7,000. That would actually be basically the bottom of this lower support line of this symmetrical triangle here on the monthly chart. So again, while that is technically possible, and while it is technically like stretching the boundaries of what we can remain bullish for, okay, I still think 86 is the best bet. And maybe like absolutely worst case of the best case, basically going down to maybe like 7. But if we would ever get anywhere below 7, I think that would, obviously, I think that would only be possible if the economy around us started crumbling and crashing. Huge, guys. Now, if we switch to these charts, you can see on the 4-hour chart, we do have some sort of a little bullish divergence just shaping up here where we have 2 lows so far. This is actually a lower low here that was set on this 4-hour chart. But you can see the RSI is actually ascending, so that seems to be indicating some short-term bullish divergence. I have a target actually of about maybe 10.6. We could see a pump, I think, in the short term up to those levels. But ultimately, I still think the trend for the next week is actually still down. We haven't really had any good bottom confirmations. And as well, we also have some bullish divergence here on the 1-hour chart, kind of the same thing here, where we have this price action going lower, setting lower lows, but we're seeing the RSI trend upwards. Okay, we have 3 touches along this same trend line here on this hourly chart starting back on September 2nd, and it's about 4 days in the making now for this bullish divergence on the 1-hour chart short term. But if we switch to the daily chart, basically what is happening here as well is we're still kind of caught up right in this very important level of like the 10,000 to 10.5, right? 10,000 is a huge psychological support. Over the last few days, we've actually been dipping our toes slightly below 10K. Let me see how many. We have 2 candles, 2 daily candles that have had wicks that have gone below 10K. Now, it's been very short-lived so far. It's been holding pretty strongly as support. But ultimately, you guys, the momentum does seem to be continuing downwards. And from what I'm seeing here, I don't see any clear signs of a bottom just yet. I don't see any clear indications that this drop is over just yet. This is a situation where you often see people call for a bottom way too early, and usually doesn't end well if you're trying to long Bitcoin before it bottoms out, right? But with that being said, the levels that we're seeing right now, especially in altcoins, in my opinion, I think across the board are actually pretty good accumulation levels, right? So although I don't think Bitcoin is bottomed, and I still think even the broader altcoin market still could see some more downside over the next week, that doesn't mean that these are not great accumulation levels, right? We've had significant pullbacks. Some of these altcoins have dropped like a rock. For example, Tezos, one of my favorite coins we cover at least a few times a week, below its 200-day moving average, trying to find support here where we have the support right around about $2.30, getting destroyed. Link is actually holding up pretty well. It actually got a bounce where we're talking about here on this 3-year ascending structure for Link's price. Actually honestly, Link is looking fairly strong, especially compared to some of these altcoins. Ethereum also looking very good here. My point is, we could still see some bleeding from these altcoin markets over the next week. And buying even now, I still don't think necessarily would be a bad idea, right? Just because you might not catch the exact bottom doesn't mean that you made a mistake, right? It's incredibly hard to catch the exact bottom. And likewise, it's incredibly hard to catch the exact top if you're trying to sell. The goal should not be, when you're trading or accumulating, to always be buying the exact bottom and always selling the exact top. If that is your goal during each and every one of these swings for Bitcoin, you're going to stress yourself out. You're going to be getting upset and emotional because it's incredibly hard to do, right? But just for the most part, balancing risk to reward and finding the areas that for the most part have the most chance of providing support or resistance, especially, during these dips. I think that's how you set yourself up for the best scenario, right? You don't have to be perfect, okay? No trader is perfect, okay? No trader has predicted every single move this week, let alone every single move every single day of a month or every single month of a year. Nobody nails every single trade, and you don't have to be successful, right? That shouldn't be your goal, is to be perfect, because nobody can be. But my point here is we're seeing some very low levels on a lot of these altcoins where if you think you missed out over the last 2 or 3 months, then come on, I think at this point, give yourself a break. Maybe these are some levels that you want to start laddering in, right? Maybe start getting some positions. With that being said, you don't have to put in 100% of what you want to buy all at once, right? You can ladder in, maybe do 5-10% over a small period, right? Dollar cost average in a very short time frame to ladder into your position, right? Especially over the next week, because again, I think we're going to get a very nice sense of where Bitcoin is heading over the next week to see if this pullback continues. And especially on this weekly chart, I think this is the biggest thing to watch for, just because we want to stay above this 21 week in the short term. Even if we get a wick below that, I think that's 100% fine, but we want to get weekly candles remaining above this 21 week moving average. For me, that is the indication of a very strong, healthy bull market, is maintaining above this 21 week. We saw it countless times, guys. We talk about this a lot back in the bull market in 2016 and 17. The entire year of 2017, we spent essentially 0 weeks below the 21 week moving average. We had a candle below it back in March of 2017, and we had a candle below it back in August of 2016. We did not have a single weekly candle close below the 21 week moving average for Bitcoin. Let me see here. Actually, probably for 2 years, basically. For almost 2 straight years, we didn't have a weekly candle close below the 21 week moving average. So very huge. So as long as we actually keep getting these weekly candle closes above the 21 week moving average, we remain ultra bullish. And right now, as long as we remain above about 96 over the next 7 hours at the time of recording this, till we get this weekly candle close, then again, extremely bullish. Like I said, I think over the next week, it is very possible that we dip below this 21 week, but as long as we don't cement weekly candle closes below it, then I think that's still very healthy. Huge, guys. So let's see who the winner is. We're going to paste the video in there, get the YouTube comments, and then we can pick the winner. 344 unique commenters. Wow, that might be the highest one we've done in a long time. Let's see who the winner is here. It looks like the winner is going to be Amit. I don't even know how to pronounce that. This is due to some people who have more Bitcoins. They're selling and cause panic in the market and take the profit of it by buy at low price. Okay, brother, awesome. Make sure to shoot me an email. It's in the description there. If you make sure to shoot me an email, and we can send you the ledger. If you don't get back to me, we'll just pick a new winner. Let's say in 48 hours. But as well, guys, make sure to leave your comment below. And if we hit, let's do a little higher. Let's do 1,500 again. If we can hit 1,500, we'll be giving away this other one. But again, I have a feeling this person may not contact me. I don't know why. I also can't tell if that's a spam comment or not. I don't think it is a spam comment, but anyway, guys, huge. And guys, huge. For a limited time, actually, Bybit is doing 20% off trading fees using certain links, okay? One of them being mine. If you use my link below, you get 20% off trading fees for the foreseeable future. So as well, if you're interested in trading, again, I personally don't recommend right now being a spot to do it just because it's so much indecision in the market. But if you have experience and you're interested, make sure to use the link below. You get some of those nice bonuses and a nice discount on trading fees. And as well, if you're interested in learning trading, getting updates with our Telegram and portfolio and everything like that, make sure to join T4 below.